And good morning to all from Northern Manila. How's everybody doing? We'll keep this up for, I've got somebody in the room. Say hello, whoever you are. Good morning from the Philippines. Good morning, good morning. Oh, that's me. Oh, no, they're gone. Let's see what we got here. It's Merc 3. Merc 3, good morning, buddy. How are ya? Good morning to you, sir. How you doing? Okay, Long. Yeah, me too. Okay, Long. Hey, I don't want you guys to think I'm lazy. I've actually got some videos, a couple of videos to put up. I just haven't finished the editing. So Melanie's out trying to get some work done involving the title to the home, which requires, what seems like 20 trips to the BIR office and various other governmental organizations to get the title to your home. It's crazy what you have to go through here. It's amazing anybody actually has a title to their house. It's so insane what they require of you and the amount of money it costs you to get the title to a home, by the way, that you've paid the loan off to. Yeah. They actually canceled school again today. Why? I don't know. We had a little bit of rain overnight, Merc. Right now the sun is out. It's beautiful. My kids are, laying around the house staring at their iPads. So it's amazing, how often school gets canceled here. I mean, my kids have been to school in the last 3 weeks. They've probably been to school maybe 3 full days, and that's it in 3 weeks. So I don't know. I'm from the West, and getting out of school in the West is damn near impossible, unless you're in a place where it snows, a crazy amount of snow, So here, the slightest, little bit of rain, and they cancel school. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, baby. Hey, Mark, remind me again where it is you're living currently. Mr. Brock, hello, sir. Good morning from North Caloocan City, baby. How you doing, Dennis? Getting any rain down there in Cavite? The trees are changing. It's been in the 50s and high 40s at night. Aha, Northern Michigan. Gotcha. 2 hours from Canada. Sorry. I knew that. Once you said that, I remembered. I remember talking to you about my family vacations up to Sault Ste. Marie every summer. Because I'm from Speedway, Indiana originally. You're getting some rain down there, Dennis? We had some overnight. We had some thunder and lightning activity. But right now it's actually very nice. Sunny out. It's a good thing they canceled school today. It's beautiful here. So Yeah. Okay. Merc 3, you're very close to Sault Ste. Marie. Okay. Yeah, I remember, God, the last time we went, I remember that little Mackinac Island. Or is it it's Mackinac City, right? On Mackinac Island. Oh, it's Labor Day weekend in the U.S. That's right. And it's only Sunday in the U.S. What is it? 9:17 p.m. your time, Merc, I believe, in Michigan. 9:17 p.m. on a Sunday night. 9:18 Monday morning here. We are. Oh, that's right. Everyone has a 3-day weekend. I forgot about that. Ah, yeah. I was still in the U.S. This time last year. Kind of wondering. Actually, Melanie, my wife, was still in the USA this time last year too. It was before we found out my fate that my company was going to lay me off, which of course greatly changed our lives. Mackinac is how it's spelled or pronounced. Mackinac is how it's spelled. Oh, okay. I thought it was actually called Mackinac Island, and the city was called Mackinac City. That's what I thought. Of course, I was I was pretty young the last time I was there. I just remember it being, a very, very neat place. There was no cars there, and if I remember correctly, fudge is a big deal there, right? The Mackinac fudge, as it's called, or fudge or brownies, one of those two. I think it's the fudge, though. Would probably be interesting to see a place like that, because I'm talking both the same spelling. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's the fudge. That's what I thought I remembered. I mean, we're talking, God, it would have been 26 years plus, 28 years plus for me. No, longer than that. Sorry. I'm 53. What am I? Yeah, it would have been 20 over. Let's see. I'm 53. Last time I was there, I was 10. So yeah, we're talking 40 years. You love the fudge. Okay. Yeah, I remember that being a big deal. There was like maybe a couple of different bakeries, or it was one really famous one there where you would go and it was just you could watch them make it, right? And it's just this insane amount of different colors, different flavors, some with nuts, some without. It was pretty impressive. Not a big sweets person myself. I'm not a big fan of, anything that's sweet. I'm a spicy eater myself. I crossed the bridge at night in a rainstorm on my motorcycle. Not fun. Oh, yeah. Ah, I remember that bridge now. Yeah, and being in Michigan, that was probably some cold rain. I can imagine. Michigan probably gets some of the most severe weather. Michigan and uh, Wisconsin in that area get some seriously crazy weather, right? 5 Mile Bridge, that's right. I see. Now, what you know what I'm going to have to do when I end this? I'm going to have to go and Google all this so I can have a look at it. The images. I do remember the bridge, but I don't remember what it looks like now. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to risk the bandwidth I'm already using here now. So the kids are home. Everybody's Wi-Fi'd in. I probably barely got enough. I probably barely have enough internet just to live stream here. Yeah, Minnesota. Exactly. Minnesota. Chicago gets some pretty nasty weather. Holy cow. That Great Lakes weather can be just brutal, dude. Right? Yeah, cold comes from the north. That's right. It shows we've got 4 people in the room, or 5 people in the room, but I only see 2 under participants. So maybe we've got some lag going on. I don't know. Hey, Merc, when did you say you were coming? Did you say you were going to be out here in November? I'm 50 miles from Lake Superior and 5 blocks from Lake Michigan. Ah, you know, I remember my father lived in South Bend, Indiana, and we would go to Lake Michigan. This is when I was a kid and still visiting my father because I was from Indianapolis. Of course, South Bend is up near Chicago, northern Indiana, right? And we would take day trips over to what was the name of the park? There was a park that had all of these. It was called Warren Dunes. God, I can't believe I remember this. Warren Dunes National Park is where we would go. And it sat right on Lake Michigan. And I remember one of the trips that we went, and you could climb like these. There would be a lot of not sure yet when it may be next year. Oh, I thought I'm probably mixing you up with somebody else. Maybe it's Randall B that's coming in November. A lot of you guys have told me, when you're what your plan is as far as visiting. Where was I at? Sorry. Doesn't take much, guys, for me to lose my train of thought. It's all the stress of retirement. Anyway, I remember that we would go to this park when I was a kid. It was Warren. I'm pretty sure it was called Warren Dunes National Park. And there would be all of these, what are they called? The hang gliders. And they would jump off the top of these sand dunes. And man, so cool to see when you're a young kid. We're talking, this is mid to late 70s for me. So back then to see something like that was really cool. And then every now and then, or a couple of times, because we would go every summer, there'd be some really nice like body surfable waves on Lake Michigan because there was a storm somewhere. So we always thought that was cool. I mean, those lakes are so big, they're like oceans anyway, right? It's like you're in the, Eastern Atlantic or, Western Pacific Ocean. It's such a large body of water anyway. "14 minutes in, and we've got 5 people in the room. We wanted this December, but too much going on, and our son just started 7th grade. Oh my. Until he's used to school and things here. Okay. Okay, well, maybe you were coming in December, but okay, you postponed it. Yeah, Lake Michigan is the 5th largest lake in the world. Very interesting. You're a Phil M family, right, Merc? I thought that you had told me that you're half Filipino before. Freshwater lake, yeah, of course, freshwater. Cold, too. Cold ass water, except in the summertime. No. Oh, okay. What's the name of the town? What was the name of the town on West Superior? Merck's going to have to help you with that one, Dennis. He lives right there. What was the name of the town on West Superior? West Lake Superior. 6 people in the room. Say hi if you're in here. I know sometimes you guys. Oh, you're American. Your wife is Panay. Gotcha. Okay. I think I'm mixing up my subs. Sorry, Merck. Hello, Jax. Good morning. Oh, your avatar is that little Martian guy from Warner Brothers. That's hilarious. I love that guy. But those Warner Brothers, is that what is it? No, it's not Warner Brothers. It's Bugs Bunny, right? Am I right? Looks like that little Martian guy from the Bugs Bunny show. Marvin the Martian. Yeah, that's it. Oh man, he's hilarious. Superior is large, touched us and Canada and many U.S. states. Yeah, big Marvin the Martian. Lake Superior. There you go. That Buddha behind me on the wall is something Melanie picked up in Bangkok. We thought that was pretty cool. She custom framed that and everything. It's like a carpet, you know, it rolls up like a carpet. It's pretty neat. Got that in Thailand. 6 people in the chat. We're 17 minutes in. Might not be such a great day. I think a lot of people could be busy with family. You know, it's well, this is the last weekend of summer, right? Gina's Curtains. Hello. How are you? Oh, well, I never knew that about you. You're just nearby in Deparo. That's only about, 2 iron away from here, I think. I'm about to ask if anyone in the family is Buddhist. No. My wife just, thought that was really cool. We got that on Koh San Road, Bangkok, Thailand. So, a little souvenir for the house. The exchange rate in Thailand was 30. We were getting 31 and 30, I think. It's actually down. It's been as high as 36 over there. And by the time Melanie and I left, we were seeing 29 on the street. So the dollar's down in Thailand. It was 53.5 here a couple of days ago. 53.5 in the Philippines. I think the best we got in Thailand over that weekend was 31. That was the day we landed. And it dropped to 29 over a 3-day weekend? Yeah. $19.73. Boy. A lot of changes since 73 in Thailand, especially in Bangkok, right? Deparo, North Caloocan. I'm gonna have to Google that, Genus. I don't know that. I don't know. Let's see. Use the iPad. No Christmas lights in the neighborhood just yet. But yeah, you're right. We're in the Burr months. DeParo, North Caloocan. You plug that into my Google Maps. I don't know why I haven't heard of that. DEPARO, DeParo, North Caloocan. I've got a Barangay 168. Well, my kids go to St. Benedict, so I know where you're at. Yeah, my daughter. I believe I did a video on 168. My daughter has a friend that lives in there. I know right where you're at. Yeah, my kids go to St. Benedict. We're so thrilled that classes were canceled again today. You know, another wasted day for my kids. Barangay 168. Yeah, we're 175 here where I'm at. Christmas lights. Okay, Merc3 says, I wanted to go there 9 years ago. He's talking about Thailand, but never did. I lost interest for now. I want to go back to Ireland. My wife wants Europe trips. Yeah, you know, I always thought, oh, it's Melanie. Sorry, you guys. Let me reply. Melanie's on the road. Super traffic. She's on her way to the IR. And she says there's a parade going on in Novaliches. Huh. A parade. Huh. I wonder what that's about. Sorry, guys. Just a minute. Yeah, she's trying to, we're trying to get the title to our house. And my God, you guys would not believe what they make you go through. And the amount of money it costs. Oh, she says, my wife says, I got a notification that you're live on YouTube. Yeah, I've maybe been a little too forthcoming on where I live. I mean, anybody could just show up, right? As much as I put my house on camera, especially the outside and where I live, just about any one of my subs could walk probably right to my house. So I don't know. You know, it's a calculated risk that you take, I guess. Being a Philippines vlogger, you want to show, you know, I'm always anxious to show the great kids that I have in the neighborhood, the friendly neighbors, the people that live around me. That's what makes, you know, living here tolerable, is the people. Oh, Melanie said it's a gay parade in Novaliches. Gay pride parade or something. How about that? It makes sense they would do that here. There's a lot of hope there's not too many Red Horse requests on YouTube Live. Yeah. Dennis Brock says there's no lights up yet there either. Now, I would be, again, this is the first time that I've, I've come to the Philippines in October. There's definitely, by the end of October, there's definitely Christmas everywhere, especially the malls. But this is only September 3rd, so I will keep you guys posted on the Christmas music and the lights, because you know how odd that is, especially if you're living in the West. Yeah, the Burr months. It's so odd to see, you know, in the U.S., I mean, where I'm from, in Southern California, there's no Christmas at all until, well, that's not true. I guess places like Home Depot and Lowe's will put up uh, like the day after Halloween, okay, which is going to be November 1st. Is when the Christmas decorations go up, but definitely not in the definitely not in the Burr months. Melanie sent this weird picture. I don't know what it is. Can you see that? Burna beer? Huh. September to the end of December, yeah. All right, we got 9 people in here. If you're in the room, say hello. I only show 4 when I open up the participants list. So, am I doing that wrong? No. Merc3 says, I miss celebrating Christmas there. It is so different than the Western cultures. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. You know, I think Robert Madden, hello, sir. How are you? Good morning. 9:40 a.m. North Caloocan City. Good morning, Robert Madden. Thank you for joining us. Merc3, we're just not into it, right, in the U.S. I mean, we're into it, but not nearly as much as they are here. Finally, I'm here now, Novaliches. 1 more Jeep and then 1 trike after. Melanie's in Novaliches and has 2 more rides. 1 more Jeep, 1 more trike. On our way to BIR. Trying to get the title to our home. Good luck to us. You know, we had to get something notarized in regard to there's like this list of steps that you have to go through, okay? And there's probably, I don't know, Melanie showed me the list. There's got to be 15 steps that you have to go through to get your title to your home. And believe it or not, we had something notarized, and it cost us 10,000 pesos, you guys, to have 1 document notarized in regard to our getting the title to our home. So there's so many little bullshit fees and taxes that you have to pay. Dennis Brock says it's going to take all day. Yeah, the simplest things here take all day. Going to the mall to buy 1 pair of shoes will take you an entire day. Something you accomplish in the West in 30 minutes or less. Robert Madden, just checking out the new YouTube update for the Android box. Ah, loving the new update. All right, great. I guess that means you're watching YouTube on your primary television, if I can take a guess, if that's what you're doing. Property tax is expensive too. Yeah, we are, although nothing like it is in the West, but we're caught up on all of our taxes. It's just all these little bullshit fees you've got to pay. I mean, I wonder along the way how much of this money is going to get pocketed. You know, it's just going to go in somebody's pocket. 2 hours to pay the internet or water bill. Yeah. Although there is a way around that. For those of you who don't know, uh, well, I was going to say that there's online bill pay, but that's really just starting up here. The Philippines is 25 years behind the West on most things. Online bill pay with your bank, where you can log into your bank account online and pay a bill, is really just starting up here. But the one thing they do have here that's good is they have these bill paying kiosks inside 7-Eleven. So you can go to a 7-Eleven, always get a receipt. Yeah. You can go to a 7-Eleven and it kind of looks like an ATM machine. For those of you who haven't seen this, it's called a Bayad Center. Bayad Payment Kiosk or Center is what they're called. Kind of looks like an ATM machine. Excuse me. And you just punch in they have everybody. Everybody's on there. Okay, PLDT, Prime Water, Manila Water, whoever your power company is, everybody's there. You just punch in or push like the icon for the bill you're paying, put in the account number, and boom, you pay it. Michael Cruz. Hello from Canada. Hello, Michael. Thanks for joining us. North Caloocan City, North Manila, Philippines, 9:44 a.m. on a Monday morning. Hello, Michael Cruz. So at least they have that, and you don't have to go to the PLDT office and a lot of SM. I forgot to mention this too. All of the SM department stores have Bayad centers too, where you can pay all of your bills. So there are some things that are okay. Yeah, you would think so, Jax, but you got to remember that there's only, I bet, less than half the entire population here in the Philippines has an actual bank account. Probably less than half the people. Most people here are living day to day, 8 hours at a time, baby. That's how they do it in the Philippines. Not everybody has a bank account. So it's just, it's different here. They're 25 to 30 years behind the West. So it's just the way it is here. There's people that, just work for today's food and that's it. They get through the day. Zito53, hello. Thank you for joining us, Zito53. 9:45 a.m. Northern Manila, Philippines, baby. Monday morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining the chat. Anybody that has a question or wants to bring up a topic, I don't normally make topics on these. Mo Photo Detroit, good morning. How are you, sir? I think this is Dennis from Southgate, Michigan. Hello, sir. How are you? Welcome. Mercury 3 says the marriage license was done with a typewriter. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's different here, so it makes it more fun. Mr. Clyde Seaside, good morning, sir. How are you? We have an Aussie in the room. Very smart Aussie. He's not going to move to the Philippines. He's just going to live here part-time. That's what you want to do. Jax, do you see a good future for your kids in the Philippines? 1197, hello. Hello, Joe from Louisiana. Thank you for joining the chat. Do I see a good future for my kids in the Philippines? I don't know. That's a good question. Good morning, Brian. Thanks for joining. That's a good question, Jax. I don't even know how to answer that. I'll say this about the Philippines. There's plenty of successful people here. It is what you make of it. There's people that have had success in the Philippines. They go on to get good jobs. They get an education. They go on to get good jobs. It's all up to the individual person, really. We've got, a couple of family members that have decent jobs in the city. They're marketing people, and they're professional people. They got college educations and they've got decent jobs, and they're saving money. They're doing their best. They're going to buy a house, and I don't know. I think it's all inside you. Good morning, Brian. Brian from Philly in the Philippines. Good morning, Angeles City. Clyde Seaside said education is the big thing. That is 100% true. Education is the big thing. We were in the process of, just so you know, Jax, in relationship to your question about my kids in the Philippines. First of all, so you know, they are my stepkids. They're not my real kids. But our intention was for everybody to be in the U.S. Okay, we got sidelined by my company, who decided that I was making too much money and I was maxed out on all my benefits, so they had to lay me off and replace me with a young kid making 1/3 my salary. When you travel in the mountains, have you ever had the women and kids always want to touch you to see if white skin feels like brown skin? Merc 3, I've had that right here in Caloocan City, not the mountains. Probably because I'm the only foreigner. I mean, I have come into contact with people right here in North Caloocan City who have never seen a foreigner, never talked to a foreigner. When I would first go to the Class A mall here, Zabarte Town Center Mall. If Gina's Curtains is in here, she knows what I'm talking about. I would just get stared at. People would just come up to me and just stare at me. I just smile. The quickest way to get rid of somebody that's staring at you is just start speaking English to them, and they take off running. They don't want anything to do with you. When you travel in the mountain, okay, Clyde Seaside, almost need college education there to get a job at Jollibee. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. We're just hoping that we can, motivate our kids. They've got some motivational issues, but we're hoping that they can outgrow that. And in the mountains of Iloilo, I was constantly touched, especially in the markets. Yeah, I bet. There's a place I'd love to visit. Although, what's strange about everybody talks about how wonderful the province is, but if you look at the vloggers, my God, sometimes they go half the week without any power. So that's got to be tough. I mean, you just live a different life in the province, I know, but it's hard to imagine, the constant, the constant power outages. Still kind of at the tail end of this flu that I had. What else is happening? See if I missed anything in the chat here. Moto Photo Detroit said, my wife is watching. She will tune in later. I'm fine. My wife is watching. Eat beluga now. She will tune in later. Okay. Thanks, Mo Photo Detroit. When are we going to come down to the farm? Good question, Dennis. Merc 3 says it's a beautiful life. No phones, no trouble, and only family on the farm. Yeah. Get the name of my hairstylist. What hair? Actually, I need to go get it cut. Mike Foodie, good morning, buddy. How are you? 9:52 in northern Manila. Good morning, sir. Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. Get the name of your hairstylist before I come next. Very funny, Clyde. Maybe you're talking about Maddie. Maddie's hairstylist, our dog. She's got all the hair in the family. And Melanie, of course. Yeah. You know, when I go, it's a zero. 50 pesos here, right? Just over there where the hardware store is. You guys know where the hardware store is who have watched my channel. Right next door, there's a little salon. 50 pesos. Zero. I just have her put the zero on there and just wham, wham. It's like being in the Marine Corps again, you know, going for that first haircut in the Marine Corps. What do you think of the expat drama, and do you think Says Style is being treated unfairly? Let me think about that for a second, Michael. I think you're talking about maybe something that Ned said about Says Style about a month ago in regards to Baybots, but I don't get involved in a lot of the expat drama. I don't want to sit back here and point fingers at people who I know nothing about. So I didn't blog about that or vlog about it. It wasn't my thing. It wasn't something I wanted to get involved with. The only thing I can say about that Baybots guy is, you know, I was one of the dummies. I never watched his channel or the videos, so I had absolutely no clue what was going on. I watched him when he first started, which I think was 2013, and it looked to me like he was running a dating website or something. It all looked on the level to me, but I never watched his videos because that's not what I was into. I was watching Rike and Philippine Dreams and other vloggers who were living in the Philippines. I wasn't really into that guy, or I just I was one of the dummies. I had no idea what was going on. I really didn't. Only because I didn't watch any of the videos. Now, some of the videos that came out afterwards were like pretty shocking. I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty easy to see what's happening here. Okay, Slim Jim, good morning, sir. Just joined, gotta go soon. Another lunch meetup. Life is so hard here. Okay. Thanks, Slim Jim, for dropping in and saying hi. Customers here in Manila. My store is in Divisoria 168 Mall. It's easier to earn money here in the Phils if you venture into business. Yeah. Clyde says a 50 pesos there, about 800. Yeah, 800 pesos. Yeah, it's hard to get a haircut for less than $20 in the U.S., which is 1,000 pesos. So, yeah, cheap haircut in Detroit is $12. Yeah. I was going to. I lived in Southern California, you guys, and there was a humongous Vietnamese population in Southern California. So I would just go to Little Saigon and get my hair cut. It was $5. But again, it was just, my hair is, there's nothing there. It's just, whatever's there is just like it looks like, I was in a nuclear accident or something. And this is what's there is what was left. What survived the fallout. Dennis, 50 pesos. Yeah, that's what it is here too. Super cheap. $1. You can't beat it, right? Excuse me for just a minute, you guys. One of the kids is calling. Just a second. Be right back, okay? All right, sorry about that. We are back. Oh, wow. I should leave more often. I gained 3 people on the chat when I left. That says a lot, doesn't it? Mercury 3, my wife learned to cut hair and cuts our hair now. Saves us $30 at a time. And considering how easy my hair is to cut, I would imagine that Melanie could probably do mine too. I mean, we're just using a 0. So, oh, I didn't grow up there, Brian. I moved to Southern California at the age of 18. I grew up in the Midwest, Speedway, Indiana. But yeah, Huntington Beach, Main Street, Huntington, baby. Spent a lot of time partying there. Yeah. Lots of time partying and tons of time in Huntington and Little Saigon. Especially starting around 2010 when I discovered Vietnamese coffee and those crazy, insane, beautiful Vietnamese women. My God. Before my Philippine days. Mike Foodie, I'm doing good. It's Labor Day weekend here in Canada. Yeah. Oh, it's even Labor Day weekend in Canada. It's 88 degrees Fahrenheit, muggy weather. Since it will be fall and the leaves will turn color. Nice. If I didn't have a boat and a house here, if you've got a boat and a house in Huntington Beach, yeah, I wouldn't leave. I would stay right there. You're living a very good life. If you've got a boat and a house and you live in Huntington Beach, yeah, there's no reason for you to leave the U.S. I actually lived in Rancho Santa Margarita, Brian, when I was there. Rancho Santa Margarita. Just southeast of Irvine, California. That was my home, and I owned a home there. Owned 3 different houses there at one time. Or not 3 different houses, but I owned, I bought up. Bought a small place and then just kept buying up until I lost my job. I worked for a company called Cox Communications, Brian. I'm sure you've heard of them. I was with them for 31 years. They whacked my head off because I was making too much money. That's what happens in corporate America now. Clyde Seaside. I saved 50 pesos in the Philippines. I bring my clippers and my fiance gives me the 0 run over. Yeah. Yeah, I've got, I don't know why I just don't have Melanie do that. It gives me something to do. I can do a walk around or, it's pretty funny. You don't want your wife to cut your hair because it gives you something to do. How sad is that? Is anybody with me on that one? Gets me out of the house, gives me something to do. Camp Pendleton, yeah. Good old Camp Pendleton. I was stationed at, yeah, Dennis Cox in Oklahoma City, yeah. Cox was in Oklahoma City. And, it's really not that expensive. You think it's expensive until you go with, one of the other companies and you find out, hey, you know what? It's the same amount with these guys as it was with Cox. So don't let anybody fool you. They're all the same price. There are thousands and thousands of marketing people that work for these communications companies, and their job is to make sure that everybody is exactly priced exactly the same. If it was any different than that, then one person would take away all the customers. So don't bother switching to another company. You'll be disappointed, or you'll end up paying actually more. Michael Cruz, tell us more about the milk there. Mike Foodie says, tell us more about the milk there. Can you get coffee creamer there? Sour cream? Yes. Milk sucks here. And again, I'm comparing it to the West, where it just seems better and more available and more types of milk. You can get Coffee creamer here, yes. Sour cream, yes. A lot of those things are super, super expensive because they are not things that Filipino people give a shit about. Filipino people are into, what is it called? Coffee Mate, that non-dairy powder creamer. Clyde Seaside says, did you keep a base in the U.S.? Did I keep a base? Yep, I know them, Brian. Let's look at the milk there. Can you get coffee creamer, sour cream? Clyde, did you keep a base in the U.S.? I'm not sure what that means. I have Cox in Oklahoma. Brian Hancher, I think of you when I drive on Camp Pendleton. Yeah. I was at Camp Horno on Pendleton for 4 years. Camp Horno. Michael Cruz, I'm in Stony Creek, Ontario. Okay. Yeah, Brian, retired sailor. Okay. So many guys are fascinated by the cost of a haircut. Okay. It was fast too. Cool Mike. Michael Cruz is cool Mike, Tiger Cats fan. Ward Harden, hello. Milo's husband. Hey Ward, how are you, buddy? Yeah, and the internet's probably pretty damn good, right, Dennis? That's what I did for Cox. I was a line technician. I worked on the mainline trunk and the fiber optic network. We worked on the part of the circuit that affected, anywhere from several hundred to several thousand customers at a time. And we would troubleshoot high-speed data issues, dial tone problems. So we worked on the main line, trunk and fiber optic network. It's a great job. I miss it, I did that for 31 years. I miss all of my buddies I used to work with and all the fun we used to have, although it was a very stressful job. It sucks to have to get out of bed at 1 a.m. and go troubleshoot a big internet outage, data outage. Brian Hatcher, I'm going to Angeles City in November. Maybe you will be out there on your scooter. Yeah, probably will. Be sure and get in touch with me. Melanie, that's where Brian is, and Melanie doesn't mind if I get away for a few days to go speak some English. Tons of expats in Angeles, not just the girly bars. There's a lot more to Angeles City than just those chrome pole girls. I mean, that could be fun, but there's a lot of really great expat bars there, where expats that live there in the city and around it hang out. So you can go and speak your native language for a change. It's nice to go somewhere and hear English spoken. Something that's very rare here where I'm at. Very rare. Even in my own house. Under the roof of my own home, it's very rare to hear English being spoken. Ward Harden is also coming back to the Philippines in November. Okay, great. Yeah, you guys were supposed to be here in May, I thought, and you canceled that trip, right, Ward? Now you guys are coming in November. Okay, yeah. I remember Milo telling me. Well, your wife's doing really good, huh? Her channel grew so fast. Of course, with her personality, I mean, how could it not? Your wife's just a great person, and she's so nice, I was just so delighted when she found my channel. She always has such great things to say. She's such a nice and positive person, You're very lucky to have her, that's for sure. Great lady. San Felipe next year for me. No solid plans yet. Okay, so is that San Felipe Zambales? Mo Photo Detroit? San Felipe Zambales? North of Olongapo City? That's the San Felipe I know. Actually, there's probably, yes, okay. Yeah, great area. The last time we were over there, Melanie and I spent the day in Crystal Beach in a city called San Francisco. Oh, it was fantastic. We were, oh, your wife's hometown, San Felipe. Oh, you've told me that before. Sorry, I remember now. Yeah, we were in San Francisco and we spent the day at a little resort called Crystal Beach Resort. And wow, it was pretty impressive, despite the fact that the water was a little violent and a little choppy. It was beautiful there. If you look down at my video list, I've got a great video from that day. And we took a motorcycle trip. That was probably 40 minutes, I want to say. 45 minutes maybe to get up there from Barrio Barreto is where we were staying. We were staying in the Barrio because I wanted to be close to the base. You know, Barrio Barreto is only a 10-minute motorcycle ride to get onto SBMA, the Subic base. So, but I'm sweating with the air conditioner going, you guys. We are 57 minutes in, 17 people in the room. If you're in the room and haven't said hi, please do. Wife's hometown. Moto Photo Trip said, saw it. I think you're talking about San Francisco. Ward says you're going to Samar. That's right. That's right. Milo told me you guys are headed down to Samar. We're going to Samar. Nice place, but like going back in time. Yes, sir. Very much. Pretty much anywhere in the Philippines is like going back in time. Unless you're in Greenbelt, Makati, or you're in Global City somewhere. It's like stepping back several years. Just about anywhere here, I would think, or say. I would like, Mike Foodie says, I would like to live November till April in Subic Bay. Okay. November to April in 2021. Rent a nice house with a view. Looking forward to it. Okay. Malolos 102. Hello. How are you, sir? Malolos is in Angeles City. Good morning. How are you? The year 2021. Why are you waiting so long, Mike Foodie, to come? Why not come next week for just, a week and hang out? Oh, but you're going to live, oh, I see. I'm sorry. November, December, January, February, March. That'd be 5 months. Oh, that'd be really nice. Yeah, living in Subic Bay. I mean, if you can afford to live in Subic Bay, you're doing pretty good, buddy. Malolos, hello from Angeles. Gotcha. Brian says, when's the next trip to Thailand? Good question. We haven't figured out what we're going to do as far as my visa. We don't know if we're going to go ahead and go through the 13A process or if we're going to Balikbayan, a couple of years in a row. For those of you guys who don't know what the Balikbayan visa is, you leave the country with your Filipino wife. Of course, there's, only a few countries that your wife can visit. But you leave the Philippines, fly out of the Philippines, as Melanie and I did. We flew to Bangkok. When we came back into Manila, I got a 1-year stamp that's free of charge. Okay. It's called the Balikbayan privilege. A lot of people call it a visa. It is called a Balikbayan visa, but it's not an actual visa you apply for. It's not the visa that you're accustomed to seeing, which is covers an entire page in your passport. It's not that type of visa. It's just a stamp, okay? And the officer just puts a little BB over the stamp. And that is your Balikbayan privilege. That gives you 1 year free in the Philippines. Gene Clark, Ward Hayden says, Samar people. Sorry, the chat's moving. Ward says, the Samar people called me a spot, the only white guy in town. Yeah, I'm the only white guy in town here. Hi, Milo. Thanks for coming in. You must be up late. Oh, no, you guys are, it's 7, sorry, I was thinking you're East Coast. I know you guys are in Washington. So it's 7:13 p.m. on Sunday night. Gene Clark says, hello from the States, but my wife's family is from Toledo City. Nice. And enjoy your talk. Oh, Toledo City. Nice. Toledo City. Very cool. Maurice LeBlanc, hello from Canada. We have 800 men and women from your country that are working in my area. Ah, OFWs. Very, very common. Very, very common. Our neighbor here to this side of us just went back to Dubai. So she's a Dubai worker, and she was home for probably only a month. Oh, okay. 2021 is the actual retirement year for you. Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in a little bit of a different situation. I was kind of pushed into retirement at a young age. So I'm doing things kind of backwards, unfortunately. Because I would love to have waited until I was like 62 to do this. I'd have, double the money. And it would be so much easier. Our lives would be, not that our life is difficult by any means, but nothing wrong with having an extra $1,500 to $2,000 a month when you're living in the Philippines, right? I should probably do a video on that, and tell my story, kind of like Brian and Louisa did. Although I've mentioned a few times in my live chat, how I ended up here and what happened. Tim Sheets, hey buddy, how are you? Welcome to the live chat. 10:15 p.m. where Tim is. He's in Missouri, USA. Good morning, 10:15 from northern Manila. 10:15 Monday morning. How are you, buddy? Maurice LeBlanc, my city is only 150. Oh, your city is 150,000 people. Oh, that's small. That is a small city. It's like going into a bar where everybody knows your name, right? What was that show called? Cheers? Remember that? Anybody? Brian says, do you have any injuries from the Marine Corps? No. I don't have any injuries, and I did apply once for basic medical and was denied at that time because, I was working for my corporation and, was making in the six-figure range. So, of course, they weren't going to. I guess you're only, even though I'm a veteran, you're only granted those basic medical if you actually need it. Now, maybe I could reapply now, being unemployed or retired, and maybe I would be approved. I don't know. It would be nice to get basic medical from the military. I did time there. So, yeah, it's different now. I think a lot of the rules, I think something's changed over time, right? Because I always thought that basic medical attention would be available to me because I'm a veteran, but it's not the case, really. Mike Foodie is 51 now, but retired when I was 44. Wow. My longtime girlfriend doesn't want to retire yet. We agreed on 2021. Okay. So she's obviously there with you in Canada. I think is where you said you're from. I lost my place. Sorry. Where am I at? Lost my place in the chat. Boy, Milo, I don't know how you do this because your chat is so much busier than mine. Malolos, my mom, brother, and sister still lives in Caloocan City. Ah, okay. I'm in Caloocan North. I don't know if they're in Caloocan South. Two very different places. You can get different types of pensions from the VA, yeah. I see on YouTube that MMDA are clearing sidewalks in Manila. Yeah. Yeah, and, a lot of people are pissed off about it. Of course, it's funny, and I don't want to be offensive to anybody, but the Filipino people that live here are just they're just asked to follow the law, and the laws are actually being enforced now. So that's something new here in the Philippines, law enforcement. There hasn't been a lot of that in the past. So, a lot of Filipino people think that they're being picked on, or it's crazy. Some of the videos that you see, I'm in several different Facebook groups that involve, foreigner, Filipino expat, things of that nature. And somebody gets stopped for not wearing a helmet, and man, they think they're being treated unfairly. They're riding a motorbike with no helmet. It's against the law, Betty. Sorry. And they think it's unfair that they're being, cited a 100 peso ticket. But I don't know. I'm from the West, where you always had to follow the law, and it's just the way it was there. So I think it's based on your income or if you're disabled. That's right, Robert. Which makes me think I should try to reapply now. Maybe I can get something. If I'm not mistaken, there's a VA in Caloocan City somewhere, I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the only VA is in Manila, over in Ermita, but I thought there was one in Caloocan City too. Milo, laugh out loud. You're doing an awesome job. Thanks. Thanks, Milo. You can tell how they drive here. Yeah. Good to know that, Philo, about law being enforced slowly but surely. Yeah. They're, of course, I've only lived here since January, so I don't know what it was like in the past. But I'll tell you this, there's constantly people I see that are not opposed to breaking pretty much every traffic law there is, including the helmet law. Yeah, the VA clinics on Rojas, by the embassy. I'm aware of that one. I thought there was another one in Caloocan City, but I might be wrong about that. I'm probably just thinking about Maurice LeBlanc. I'm watching Brian's channel, and you people with no helmets all the time. Oh, yeah. Maurice, yeah, there's all, it's, and even kids, you'll see people on a motorbike 4 up. Mama's on there with the 2 kids, and nobody's got a helmet. So it's just different here. People have a different mentality. But you pull that guy over, and I've seen it firsthand. We had a checkpoint right here by the bridge. You guys know the bridge right across the street from my house here. We had a P&P checkpoint there, and this guy got stopped. And, he's on there with his wife and 2 kids, and man, he's just raising hell with the P&P, talking about how unfair it was that they stopped him. I don't know. You need to apply now. You're retired for the medical, so do it and record your experience. Yeah, reapply for the medical, the basic medical. It is the only VA outside the U.S. Oh, it is. Okay. The one in Manila. Wow. You'd think there'd be a VA over by Subic somewhere. So many retired military there, left over from Clark and Subic. Yeah, I was aware of the one in Manila. I've seen that one firsthand. Are the helmets very expensive? Let's see. I would say no, not at all. They're very inexpensive, and you can get quality for. I'll show you what I wear. I'll show you guys what I wear. A couple of different examples. Okay, I've got, because I'm a helmet fanatic. It's one of my fetishes. Hold on a second. Zeus helmets is a very popular name here, and they are Geo in Japan. Good morning, sir. How are you? He's saying hello to Ate Milo. Yeah. This is a Zeus. Okay, these are like middle of the road. It's got vents in it. You see that? This is about a $60 helmet, guys. $60. Has the built-in sunglasses. You see that? Anyway, Zeus helmets. This is middle of the road. This is not top end. This is a good quality helmet. Very good quality. And I'll show you this one. These are just some examples, okay, since you asked. I've never even wore this one yet. This was a company. I actually bought this one online. I don't remember the name of the company. Another about $60, very high quality, very nice helmet. And another Zeus. This one's really badass. This is also a Zeus. And this one has eyeglasses that come down as well. You see that? Built-in sunwear. Melanie has one of these too. We've got matching on those. And we have matching helmets on this one. So we're pretty stylish, you know. I've even got another one up there that I got from Suzuki that came with the bike when I bought it. So yeah, but these are, you know, right around the $60 range. So no, when you compare, okay, let me catch up, sorry. The VA on Texas Boulevard is easy to get to, not far from the U.S. Embassy. There's a map at the VFW at Clark that can help out with the paperwork. Oh, Dennis, I've already done all the paperwork once. So, in fact, I've got it here. I just have to resubmit it. I've got my rejection letter and all the paperwork is still here. I just need to resubmit it. Milo bought a helmet in Samar, and it cost $3,000. Yeah. Yeah, that's about $60. Here, anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 for a helmet is about average. And, you know, as you guys know, or maybe you don't, in the U.S., you know, a good helmet is a quality helmet's going to run you $300. And then if you want the top of the line helmet, I mean, they're all the way up to $1,000, you know. So okay, Gene, thanks for coming by, buddy. Thanks for coming by, Gene. Gene Clark, and happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day weekend. Yeah, rainy season came, and now I'm afraid to wear some of these helmets. I don't want them. The last thing you want is the helmet getting wet. Ruins it, you know. So we don't take a chance with these nicer designer helmets that we have in the rain. We're just wearing our plain old Zeus, and then we take it inside and check it at the Pure Gold, you know, at the desk, so it doesn't get wet outside. Wherever we're at. What else is going on, guys? Oh, I was just thinking about every time it was a long holiday weekend in the U.S., I would always get some really nice ribeye steaks or something. Maybe some baby back ribs. Oh, I really miss barbecuing in the U.S. I tell you what. I mean, we barbecue a lot here, but there's nothing better than a beautiful marbleized ribeye steak, right? Yeah, so I think I'm done buying helmets. I need to stop. But it's hard for me because when I see a cool helmet, I want to buy it. And a lot of that reason stems from the fact that you can afford a helmet like that in the U.S. They're so expensive. A designer helmet like that in the U.S. is so much money. Have a great day. Okay, Dennis Brock, you have to bring that up. Eating, yeah. Do you ever plan on visiting the USA? Do you have anyone back here in the USA? Good question. I have a younger sister in Seattle. She's a marketing executive with Kaiser Permanente. I have a younger brother in Indianapolis, Speedway, Indiana area. And I have an older brother in Columbia, Missouri. So the younger brother and older brother that are in the Midwest, I haven't seen them in years. So do I ever plan on coming back, Brian? Probably, yeah, for a visit. Maybe not until I'm able to get some access to a few more funds, Yeah, Milo, my sister just got the job. She's one of those smart people with several degrees and just bounces from executive job to executive job. But she's with Kaiser now. She's been with a lot of companies. She's been with Expedia. She's been with Liberty Mutual Insurance, and now she's with Kaiser. So, big marketing chick, Would love to come back and visit, Brian, but it probably won't be until I get access to my 401k. I have been told by the people that manage my 401k plan that if you're retired, you can access that money at 55 now instead of 59. So apparently something's changed. I don't know if that was legislation or what. That's what they're telling me. I'm with Vanguard, by the way. And I invested in the 401k plan for 30 some odd years. So I've got a nice tidy sum of money in there to fall back on if I need it. Plus a pension. And then, of course, good old Social Security when I'm old enough to collect it. So Milo says, and I go to Seattle working there for Kaiser. Oh, okay. So Milo, you ended up in Seattle as a result of Kaiser. You relocated to Seattle to work for Kaiser, and you retired from there. So wow, good for you. It seems that with the way corporate America is, it's not easy to retire from any company anymore. They whack your head up before you get there. Most people, most places. Seems to be the way things are going, and it seems to be, My sister moves around quite a bit. I don't know if it's because, she's getting laid off from one corporation and another, and, they make cuts. And there's one thing about corporate America. People are definitely no longer your greatest asset in the U.S. People are no longer your greatest asset. It's all about the bottom line now. So when they start cutting costs, heads just start flying. They don't care. It's not like it was 20 years ago. It meant something to have. It used to mean something to have 20 years of service with a company. You were actually considered a valuable person, but that's not the case anymore. You get 20, 25 years with a corporation, you've got a big, giant target on your back, man. That's it. It's sad to say, but it's true. That's corporate USA now. I think I am the last generation of people that were lucky enough to, I started with my company when I was 20 years old. So, and it was in my mind, I was going to retire from this company. I was going to do 30 years and retire. Didn't quite make it. Well, I wanted to make it to 55. I was laid off at the age of 52. So I didn't quite make it. I fell short by 3 years, but I did 31 years of service with them. So at least it was enough to get a pension out of them, right? Okay, Brian says, you are a few years older than me, just a few more years to 55. Yeah. And Milo says, before I retired, probably the same place she is working now. Yeah, I bet. It's all about how much the CEO can get. Yeah. Milo says that she made it in on time before they changed the retirement umbrella. Yeah. Bobby C., good morning. Yeah, it thunderstormed all night long. Well, school got canceled today for whatever reason. It's not raining at all, but the kids are here at home, wasting away their day. Yeah, it was quite loud and quite violent at times, the thunder. Hour and 23 minutes in, we got 16 people in the room. Say hi if you haven't yet. Welcome to Northern Manila, Caloocan North City, guys, where the city meets the province. I am your illustrious host, Philo in the Philippines. Don't think I'm lazy, guys, and just doing chats, okay? I've got some videos to put up. I just haven't edited them yet. We did a family mall day yesterday. We went bowling, went to Zark's Burgers, so I'll put that one up either tonight or tomorrow. And I've got some birthday footage from my daughter's 15th birthday, Ira May's 15th birthday, but it's just it's a copyright nightmare. She had 15 of her girlfriends here, and there's constantly some type of music playing. I just don't know if I can make a video out of it, Yeah, I'll probably get that up maybe this afternoon, tonight. I'm going to load that in from the GoPro here. Hopefully it sometimes this GoPro, you'll plug this into your laptop and realize you've got no audio. So it doesn't happen all the time, but about 1 out of 10 shots, 1 out of 10 videos. Brian's channel keeps growing. Does it give you any advice on growing your channel? Not really. Brian and I talk quite a bit, but we don't talk about YouTube at all when we talk. We're just buddies, me and Brian. I try to chat with him once a week or so about this, that, or the other. We're really into this Tekin 250 motorcycle that Ace Motorcycles is selling right now. So we've both kind of been following what's going on with that. Yeah, Brian's channel is getting big, man. He's pushing 30,000 here. Maybe I can get him to plug me again, and I can get a few subs. I'm trying, trying to make some interesting videos, but I'm just not growing as quickly as he is. He's got something going on there, probably let. I know Louisa is getting involved in a lot of his videos, so that's probably has something to do with the growth. She's really cute, and it's what a lot of guys want to see. They want to see cute Filipinas, man. Not that my wife isn't cute. My wife can hold her own as well. Maurice LeBlanc, Brian made a nice video from Subic Bay. Oh, did he? Are you talking about recent or the one a couple of months ago? Because I saw the one a couple of months ago. If you haven't seen mine, Maurice, check mine out. We did a good one too. When Melanie and I were there, I also used a GoPro 5 and GoPro 6, the new released. Yeah. Oh, September 2nd. September 2nd. Oh, that's right. You know what? That is right. Brian did tell me he was going back down to Subic. He said he was going down. He must have just went down to go talk to the Ace boys, Ace Motorcycles. We thought.
My web search turned something up for was going down a message. Just went down to go talk to the Sports 8 Motorcycles. Have a look.
I guess Siri thought I was talking to her. Yeah, that Ace Motorcycles, we thought they were actually a British builder. Brian discovered that the bikes are Chinese. He did some research on it, found out that they're not British-made bikes at all. The bikes actually come from China. You can buy them on Alibaba, if you guys know about that. You know what Alibaba is? It's like the Indian Lazada or the Indian Amazon. Yeah, Milo, this is a Hero 6, just purchased in January, and about, I'd say 1 out of 10 videos comes back with no audio or very, very badly distorted audio. But yeah, awesome camera. The fact that you can take this underwater and don't need a case for it, I can walk around. It's rainy season. The whole reason I bought this is because of its size and, how durable it is. It's very durable. And, I don't think you can beat this camera for vlogging. I bought this little guy here, this little case you can put it in. So there you go. And this opens up to a tripod as well. So, kind of neat, right? The video stream is breaking up. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not getting the message from YouTube that I have bad connection. Yeah, and what's surprising about it is I've got the helmet mount too. I don't know, Mike, Foodie, I'm not getting the message from YouTube that I'm breaking up. And normally I get a big banner across the top that'll tell me. Milo probably knows what I'm talking about. Or actually, Milo doesn't. Milo lives in the West where the internet's great. So she's probably never seen that. What was I saying? Oh, I was talking to Milo. What I love about it is the fact that there's low wind noise for some reason. I haven't figured out why that is, but when I mount that thing to my helmet and go for a motorcycle ride, whatever, the wind noise is really low. So I don't know if it detects that and makes an internal change, the camera itself, or if it's something that I've done and don't realize I've done it. Oh well, anyway, yeah. Hero 6, you guys, GoPro, fantastic camera. And it also takes very good pictures. So, just so you know. Shoots up to 4K, although you don't want to do that because the file is way too big. There's no reason to shoot in 4K. Not yet, anyway. I mean, a lot of devices can't even decipher that code yet. So I'm shooting 2.7K, 30 frames a second, and that's pretty damn crispy. Although, you know, even my old Nikon camera that I used at 1080p was, the video was flawless. So it's hard to discern what 4K must look like, and I'm sure it's fantastic. But the file size that you're dealing with at that point is ridiculous. I'm serious. You got to remember, when you're a vlogger and you're editing, you need to compress that video before you can upload it. So you got compression software that you got to use, and that takes a certain amount of time. Then you've got your upload time to YouTube, and that takes a certain amount of time. So you don't want this massive file. You want something that's easy. Milo, all the videos are made from GoPro. Are you talking about you edit on your phone using the app, using the GoPro app? Is that what you mean? I use a MacBook. I just upload everything into the MacBook Air, and I'm using iVideo. Not iVideo. God, I'm so stupid. iMovie. Sorry. iVideo. Gangstone. Okay. Is that on a PC or a Mac? Oh, sorry, Maurice. How bad did the river next to your place flood? Not bad at all. Maurice, just so you know, I mean, you asked. Eventually, that river will crest the bridge, and it doesn't really get much worse than that. Even in the oh, it's an app. Okay, I got you, Milo. Even in the worst rain, you know. Although when that river breaches that bridge, it makes you realize, it makes you think that I mean, one day, you know, one day we might be calf deep here in water. I don't know. Let's hope not. We are, you know, slightly uphill from the river, so I don't know. I just try not to think about it. Come on, November. Let's get through this rainy season, baby. Thanks for coming in, you guys. I appreciate it. It's always fun to, you know, raise a few people to talk with. We've got Brian, Dennis, Kevin Wallace, Maurice, Smirk3, and Slim Jim, and Milo. The chat count shows 17. I've actually got about 8. That's weird, huh? I don't know if that's... How far is the river from my backyard? Oh, from the backyard. It's right over the wall. But I mean, it's way, way down there. We are way up. What I was talking about is when the GoPro splice. Okay, gotcha, Milo. What I was talking about is the bridge over there. Okay, that bridge is at about the same pitch or altitude as my house. So if the water came into our house, it would come from that bridge. It wouldn't come from the back of the house here, because we are way high above the river. How are the pineapple plants doing? They're kind of in sleep mode, you know? They're not really doing anything. I think this time of year they kind of hibernate, those pineapple plants. And then what's going to happen is as it starts drying out towards the end of the rainy season, then we're going to get some blooms, and we should get some pineapples. I'll let you guys know. I don't know how the farm is doing. We haven't talked to Uncle. Uncle left and went down to live in Cavite, so he's watching over it for us. But I don't know when we're going to go down there. We're so busy now with now that school's back in. Clyde, rainy season, dry season. My fiance can't work out. We have 4 seasons. Yeah. Mike, you can grow year round. Yes. You don't need to pull the plants. Yeah. Brian, I'm just south of Bulacan province. Bulacan is where Marilao, SM Marilao is. Okay, I did that motorbike ride over with Eric to meet with Eric from Video Lux. That's only a 30-minute ride to get over there. Maurice is watching 3 different Bohol vloggers. Yeah. All from the U.S. I could probably name at least 2 of those. Your son's mom cut you off. Excuse me. Sorry. Maurice is one of those YouTubers hoodwinked by an angel. Or no, he's not on Bohol, is he? Oh, I thought he was in Bohol. Maybe not. The one thing about being a PH vlogger is you don't have a lot of time to watch your favorite PH vloggers. So I don't even get a look at Brian's channel as much as I'd like to, John Hamer is coming to the Philippines tomorrow. All right. Good for you. That'll be fun. I miss being a visitor to the Philippines. So much funner than being a resident. Yeah. I've been thinking about that for a while, Brian, especially since there's been so much rain, and I haven't been able to do a lot of walk-arounds. Although we did a great one yesterday. Everybody likes it when when we jump on a trike and then we jump in the jeepney and we go somewhere. That's interesting stuff to a lot of people. So I've got one of those coming up. I watch a foreigner in the Philippines. Okay, yeah, foreigner in the Philippines. I go every year, end of January and all February. Okay. Nice, San Miguel. Milo says, why is that? Probably to my... it's a long story, Milo. Maybe I'll get into it. I've talked about, Milo, one of the things I've talked about that a lot of the Philippine vloggers don't ever mention, and it might be because a lot of these guys are in a different situation than I am, is just how isolated that you feel as a foreigner living here. There's a very common misconception that this is an English-speaking country, and it's not at all. Filipinos speak Tagalog. They do not speak English. And my presence doesn't change that. There's still just Tagalog spoken everywhere. It becomes difficult to live here when you have no idea what's being said around you, even in your own home. Yeah, Milo, it's just, after a while it gets to you. I mean, that's partially my fault. But there's a difference in, I do language lessons and I teach people, or you guys know, I'm trying to teach small phrases that'll get you through day-to-day life. But then listening to Tagalog or Filipino, whatever you want to call it, my kids are being taught in school that they don't speak Tagalog. They speak Filipino. So there must be some kind of a national movement to get away from Tagalog, although it's the same language. Listening to Tagalog and trying to figure out what's being said is a whole different thing than being able to go to Palenque, rattle off a few words and make people smile. That's easy to do. That's all I'm able to do now. But Mercury 3 says 11 only watch, 2 now. Some went away. Some went out there for my taste. Wait a minute, what did I miss? Oh, he only watches 2 now. Some went away because of the taste. Blind Al Outdoors. Yeah, he's pretty funny. We're all interested in day-to-day life in the province. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if any of you guys, not that this channel needs any promotion, there's a guy named Ahern, the Ahern family. They're kind of interesting and really big. I mean, it's a giant channel. Probably one of the biggest Philippine vloggers. I don't remember exactly where he's at. He's way out in the province somewhere, but kind of an interesting yeah. Blind Al's a pretty good guy. Oh, Milo's met those people in person. Ah, funny. Yeah, it's funny what the YouTube world does to you. Ahern family's in Bohol. Okay. Anybody watch Hoodwinked by an Angel? He's kind of funny. Michael, what is his name? Michael something. Michael Fazio. You have nothing else. I mean, you got to give it to the guy. He is entertaining. You talk about somebody who's funny. Kevin Wallace says he's back again in November to Las Piñas. Ah, there you go. Yeah, that Ahern guy is big, right? I mean, if I remember correctly, he's like over 100,000 subs. He's a big channel. I would love to know his story. Maybe I'm going to have to research that sometime because he looks really young to me. He looks like he looks like a kid, like he's in his 30s or something. It would be interesting to see just how somebody that young ends up here, in the Philippines with a couple of kids and a Filipino wife. Maybe a huge inheritance or something, It's the only way I would think that you could do it would be to have some huge inheritance where you can just, you could live here for a long ass time, even on $100,000. But it obviously would take more to be 30 years old and live here. But I was just curious. I've always wondered. 130,000, yeah. I know he's a big channel. Haven't followed that channel real closely, but the last time, he sells stuff online too. Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. We watched a movie, you guys, on Netflix called Birdshot. Uh, it was okay. It's one of the first Filipino movies on Netflix. Yeah, he has a. You're right about that. That Ahern guy, very beautiful wife. I do remember that. That'll get you some views. Maybe that's what I need to do is exploit my wife a little bit more. Joke long, joke long. Oh, he's from Washington State. Wow. Interesting. I always wondered. He looks really young to me. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe that's what province life does to you. Yeah, I saw that. He comes up in my feed. I saw he was in Manila. I didn't watch the video. I was busy doing something else, but I saw that came up that he was in Manila. Excuse me. He knows the hospital you retired from. Yeah, I'm at an hour and 48, so yeah, we'll see. It's my lovely wife again. She made it to City Hall. Okay, there we go. I think she's on step 9 of the 27-step process to get the title to your home. Crazy, man. What foods do I miss the most? Merc 3. Um, what I miss the most is probably really good, authentic Mexican food. I'm from Southern California, not far from Mexico, where I lived. About an hour and 10-minute drive to Mexico. So I miss really good, authentic Mexican food. And I miss beef, really. Beef isn't something that's super common here, you know, especially quality beef. As far as quality beef, you can almost forget it. But Clyde Seaside. Michael Fazio does great subjects. Loved it when he took to JLB. Oh, that was hilarious. Yeah, I was still, you know what, Clyde, you're right about that. I was still in the U.S. when that happened. But man, he just, I mean, and what was JLB thinking? You know, I've talked to JLB before, and I know that he's a controversial person. Um, JLB was one of the first PH vloggers that supported me and actually left comments and told me he thought, you know, my videos were good. And so I've always liked the guy. And yeah, it turns out JLB is a kind of a controversial guy. I had no idea. Again, another person that I don't watch all their videos, so I'm kind of ignorant to what's going on. Your laugh stock shot. I love your channel. Thanks, Maurice, about loving my channel. I love to hear that. Where did I meet my wife? I met my wife through mutual friends on Facebook. Mike Foodie. We are 100% Filipino food in this house. 100%. Never anything else but Filipino food. Too much pork. You know what, San Miguel? You're probably right. You're probably right about too much pork. We eat a lot of pork in this house. Brian Hatcher, yeah, I remember Revolution Street, Tijuana, and many other side streets down Revolution too, buddy. That's, you know, we won't talk anymore about that. Mercury 3, I understand that. JLB doesn't think. Okay. Tim Sheets, you miss Mexican, California, Mexican, yeah. Craig Edwards, based on my experience here in my home with my Filipino family, by far there's more pork eaten than there is anything else. It could be because, and maybe that reason is because I'm not a huge fish fan. I mean, I like fish. I'm a big sushi fan. I love that type of fish. But the fish that Filipinos seem to love has a ton of bones in it. I can't stand it. You do all of this work to get a little piece of meat out of there, and it's got 400 little bones that you got to pull out. You know? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Give me a thumbs up if you've done that before in the Philippines. You put a piece of fish in your mouth, and it's got, you know, all this fish bones in it. Oh my God. Drives me crazy. Do you eat with utensils or your fingers? We eat with utensils mostly, but occasionally it's finger food. Yeah. Something else I miss, Clyde, is my crock pot, slow cooker. There's nothing better than putting roast potatoes, carrots in there, coming back 8 hours later, Maserat, baby, and your house smells good too. Chicago Bar in Norte. Okay. Oh, wait. San Miguel, more pork than fish for the most part? Yeah, definitely more pork. Pork is cheap in the Philippines. 170 pesos. Pork right now in this area is about 175, 180 pesos a kilo. So, yeah, you're right. That's cheap. It's $3 for 2 pounds of meat. Brian Hatcher says Adelinas. Adelinas. That sounds familiar. There was always these restaurants, and I know where you're at. You're in Huntington Beach. You're right next to, you know, Brian, all the good Mexican foods in Santa Ana. Right next to where you live. Bad Boys, Cheap Meat, True, Adelitas. I love. Bobby C says that he loves Pina food, more beef and fish than pork here. So super syrup, especially the vegetables. Oh. When I am there, I try to cook Western food 2 to 3 times a week. Merc 3. Tilapia has bones, yes, sir. Buy boneless bangus, yeah. Melanie, bless her heart, if we do have fish, she, because she knows I hate it. I hate dealing with it. She'll go through and debone a bunch of it for me. She's a good wife. But no, we, to be honest with you, we absolutely love to barbecue here using real charcoal. Yeah. Maurice says, watch a YouTube video from the city of Batanga, and they have a big beef auction every day. Oh, beef auction. Clyde says he can't handle the bones in the fish. Yeah, it drives me nuts, Clyde. I just absolutely hate it. And it's, the Vietnamese are the same. The Vietnamese are exactly the same. I had a Vietnamese girlfriend for several years. They do all this work for a tiny little bit of meat, man. Especially like the damn chicken feet. That drives me crazy. Don't eat anything that comes out of the water. Well, I remember being in the U.S. and barbecuing or grilling salmon steaks. Oh, talk about delicious. And there's certain types of shark that are really delicious on the barbecue grill too. Don't remember the names of it. Roberto's. There you go, Brian. That is Roberto's is a little Mexican chain that did great authentic Mexican food. What street was that? I used to go to the one on, can't remember now. Are chopsticks used commonly at restaurants there? Never. Filipinos don't know how to use chopsticks, Craig. I've never seen a Filipino that could use chopsticks. I'm really good with them because I was part of a large Vietnamese family for several years, so I got really good at using chopsticks. Adobong aso. Yummy. Laugh out loud. San Miguel. Maurice LeBlanc. Do you eat lechon? Yes. There's several places not far from here you can buy lechon roadside. There's some restaurants that are very good, that specialize in it, where you can just go up and buy it by the kilo. Let's see, lechon, good lechon here's probably 200 a kilo, maybe. That's cooked, by the way. I'm sure that's what you're referring to, Maurice. Mercury 3 says they grew up eating what they could afford in time. It is comfort food for them. Same with rice every meal. Yeah, rice every meal, yeah. Mike Foodie says the most pork. Mike's a chef, you guys. So his comments about food are important. Mike says the most pork I see on videos is organ meat. What happens to the loin or tenderloin, belly, ham, all the good cuts? Good question. I was at the Palenque on Saturday and bought some really beautiful pork chops the loin was actually laying there. She had 2 long pieces of loin, and she cut me off 12 beautiful pork chops. Cost me, 12 pork chops were 240 pesos, I think I paid for it. Kevin Wallace, spoon and fork. That's correct. Filipinos cut with a spoon. The spoon's actually a knife here in this country. There's no knife. We don't have a knife anywhere in the house. All your spoons are knives. So you cut with a spoon. Clyde Seaside, your Filipino wife is great with chopsticks. Melanie, my daughter is really good because she's a Korean fanatic. So she taught herself how to use chopsticks. My stepdaughter and I are the only 2 people in the house that can use chopsticks. Nobody else. Everybody else, they just falls out of their hands and they give up. Sisig is usually from pig face. That's correct. I've had some really good sisig. Dennis Brock says that the hams are going to come out in late November. Okay, I don't know if that means at the market. Oh, thanks, Brian. Enjoy some red horses. Well, you guys make chatting fun. I got a super chat to buy some red horses. Thanks, Brian. What do you mean, Dennis? Is that something that's seasonal here in the Philippines? Like a big ham like we would buy in the US? Is that something that's seasonal here? I've only been here since January, so I don't know. Okay. Dan Gillespie, how are you doing, buddy? Happy Sunday night to you. About 8:14 Sunday night for you. 11:14 a.m. Monday morning here. Hello, Dano. Thanks for joining the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Craig Edwards is saying that hams must come out in markets. Ah. Yeah, I'll tell you this. Although I haven't spent a lot of holidays. I've never spent Christmas here. I've always been here a month or so before Christmas. So, sorry, you guys. Let me catch up on the chat here. Hams must come out in Marcus, November. Not too big. Maurice says, are they doing big highways toward your place in Caloocan? They're not doing highways, Maurice. What they're doing is they're extending the MRT. I believe the MRT is going into, I'm hesitant to say because I don't want to give you bad information, but they're extending the MRT very, very close to my house. Put it this way, there'll be once it's completed, there's going to be an MRT station over in, is it Nova Liches? I don't want to give you the wrong name. Maurice, we live fairly close to the NLEX that goes into northern Luzon. There's no traffic. We can get to the NLEX in 20 minutes. I'd have to smoke my own ham and bacon. There you go. And you're probably really good at that, Mike, I bet, being a chef. San Miguel, I was at SM Fairview yesterday. We saw no Christmas decorations. But, you guys are right. It's the Burr months. It's September, so they start celebrating Christmas here in the Burr months. Shouldn't be long, and we'll have probably before October 1st, there's going to be Christmas trees everywhere here. Filipinos love the Christmas, man. Hey, Brian, thanks again. You found my house on Google Earth. Uh-oh. I'm giving away too much information, I think. Is that because you watch the channel, Brian, or is that because of my walk-around videos that you found my house on Google Earth? Or did you hack my Google account? What'd you do? Oh, excuse me. Oh, okay. Well, you're a pretty smart guy. I'll tell you this, you're a pretty smart guy if you did it just by memory of my walk-around videos, because I'm in a giant subdivision. Giant. So you're pretty good with a computer. September 1st, Christmas starts. Kevin Wallace. That is true. It's Christmas in the Philippines, baby. Dano Dan Gillespie, what's going on for Labor Day, buddy? And have you been riding with Lifestyles at all? You and the missus? Have you guys gone on any lifestyle rides? Check this out. Dano, you see that? Ah, only has a phone for Google Earth. Okay. Make sure, Maurice, if you're going to stop by, you call first, okay? It annoys me when people just show up. Which, by the way, we should talk about that. That's a Filipino custom here. Craig Edwards is asking, do you have any thoughts about the Philippines government proposal to build 8 bridges connecting Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao? Do you have any thoughts about the Philippines government proposal to build 8 bridges connecting Luzon with the Visayas and Mindanao? Do I have any thoughts about that? Not really. It's so cheap to ferry from island to island, and so few people have cars here. I'm trying to, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I haven't read about this. I'm a little bit behind on my. I got to start reading the news, man. I haven't heard about this. We're daily news watchers here too, but I haven't read anything about this. You think it would help the economy? Okay. I'll tell you one thing it's going to do, Craig. It's going to put all the boat services out of business. The ferry services are going to go out of business. So the buses won't have any reason to use them anymore. And if you can ride your motorcycle across the bridge to go from Luzon to Mindoro, why the hell would you jump on the ferry, right? I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. Maybe some of the islands would be a good idea to connect them. I don't know about all of them, though. From Luzon all the way to Mindanao? Jeez. Seems extreme to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm an old timer. It wouldn't make anything much easier, to be honest. It's just, you're on a ferry or you can be on a bridge with traffic. So, I don't know. Good question, Craig. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm going to think about that, and maybe that actually might make a good topic sometime, huh? I got to do some more research on that and see. Making the islands easier to get to could certainly help the economy, I guess. But, like I said before, there's almost no reason to have a car here, really. When I watch Brian and Lot from Angeles, I find the place that they go, you know what, Maurice, I used to do that a lot too. When I was a Westerner living in the U.S., I would always follow my favorite vlogger on Google Earth. I would follow them because I would watch on a PC now. I had a really nice PC in the U.S., big 30-inch monitor and everything. So I would always follow along on Google Earth so I could see, because you guys know how awesome Google Earth is. You can go down into the street mode and actually walk right down the street like you're there. Milo says she heard there's a bridge from Samar connecting. She hears there's a bridge from Samar connecting a bridge to Matnog, southern Luzon. Yeah, there's probably some cases where it would be really convenient. Mercury 3, when you are sleeping, eating, it's true they will show up unannounced, usually about meals. Merc 3. No, you know what? Let's talk about that, you guys. Here in the Philippines, it's very, very customary or very common. Thank God it doesn't happen a lot here with Melanie's family. It's very, very common that all of a sudden you're sitting in the house or, you're getting ready. Melanie and I, this one time, we were getting ready to go to the mall. And we hear this, Taupo, Taupo, which means, is anybody there? And guess what? An unannounced visitor. Very, very common that people just show up at your house here without calling ahead to let you know they're coming. Very, very common. And now let me take that a step further and tell you that when this happens to you here in the Philippines, guys, believe it or not, unannounced visitors are like a blessing from God. Okay? You now have to drop everything that you're doing. Whatever you had planned, forget it. You now have to entertain these visitors and feed these visitors. And guess what? In some cases, the visitor may even ask you to pay for their way to go back home. Okay? And they're not, in any ways out of line for asking you to pay for their way home because they blessed you by coming to visit you. That's the culture here. And sometimes they stay for 2 days. Mercury 3. This is a guy who knows the Philippines. Not only do they show up unannounced, but sometimes you can't get rid of them. They stay for 2 or 3 days. So true. But that is Philippines culture. That's the way it is here. It's different. Now here's my thinking, you guys. This is what I don't understand. So if you're Filipino, help me out with this, okay? Even though it's the culture to show up at somebody's house unannounced, I wouldn't want to do that because I wouldn't want to waste my time to travel to that person's house. How do I know that they're even going to be home? Now that's the way I think. Maybe that's too logical for the Philippines. I don't know. Going somewhere is such a hassle here. Sitting in the back of a hot jeepney, breathing all those diesel fumes, then having to grab a trike, and then you get to your cousin's house, and they're not even home. So you've wasted all that time. Not only that, but you've wasted money, It might only be, what would that be? A Jeep and trike here would be 45 pesos. So $1. You've wasted $1. But still, that's the culture here, you guys. Clyde says he sees Tiger Beer making a push into 7-Eleven in the bars. Tiger Beer is a beer from Thailand. And I'm going to agree with that. I've seen it also myself at 7-Eleven, I think. Yeah, Burr months, Clyde, party time. When you are sleeping, eating, try to... Yeah, when Melanie's sister lived right down the street, amazingly enough, she always showed up right around the time to eat. So, Merc 3 says, I have an apartment, but I spend most of the time in hotels on the weekends. They have a circuit they travel, or the ones I know seem to. Merc 3, sometimes they stay for 2 days. Oh. Yeah, it's what makes it more fun here. Maurice is watching from a big screen TV. All right. How big is your screen? And what make and model? Yeah, if you're not home, they go to the next. Well, that's true. Even the next family member from us is 2 rides away. Yeah, 2 rides away, which would be another 45 pesos. So, yeah, I guess it's I don't know. I would always call ahead. It just seems easier to me. That way I know they're going to be home when I get there. It's just makes more sense to me. But the one thing you never want to try to do is make sense when you live here, especially as a full-time resident. You don't want to try to make sense of things because it's just it'll make you depressed, really. If you're not home, they go to the next one. Merc 3, you're cracking me up, dude. How old are you, by the way? 55-inch Aqua. Yeah, 55-inch. 47 Merc 3, that's right. Okay, I remember now. You told me before. Dude, you cracked me up. The Sweet Harry, hello. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for coming. We're talking about Filipino relatives who show up unannounced at your home. Not just relatives, classmates, sometimes the neighbor. You're like, come on. One time, Melanie and I were going to have a date. We were going to go to SM for lunch. We had our helmets on. Then we hear, Dalpo! I'm just like, ugh. Not again. But like I said, thank God that doesn't happen very often. I think Melanie has warned her family. Philip's American, and in the U.S. this is extreme. Would be something, in my culture where I grew up, that's extremely rude. You would never ever show up at somebody's house without calling them. They might not even answer the door. That's Western culture. Anyway, the Sweet Perry, how you doing? Thanks for joining the chat. No visitors here. Hang a sign that says no visitors here. Or no, Merc 3, the sign should say no visitors without food. We have a mix of 110 and 220 in our house, Maurice. 220 is what they use here. It's just the way it is. It's the Philippines, baby. And whatever you buy here in the Philippines, it's funny. The reason that we have 110 in the house is because I brought several appliances from the U.S., even a PC. I brought a Dell PC from the U.S., which needs 110. So we had some 110 wired up. But what's funny is you plug in like one of these floor fans to the 110, it doesn't even work hardly. So funny. Everything is 220 here, just the way it is. Oh, prohibited entry here. Yeah. Hang a sign, bawal pumusok dito. Prohibited entry. Yeah, but Merc, you can't do that, man. You're going to offend the Filipino people. Onion-skinned folks, you don't want to offend them. You got to be very careful what you say, what you do here. Yeah, connecting Luzon to the Visayas by bridge. One word, typhoons. Yeah. I don't know. Somehow they've done it down in Florida in the USA. But again, it's something I need to really think about. Do we really need to connect the islands by bridge? To make it easier for the buses, I guess, to get from one island to another, make it faster. I would imagine driving on There's just not that many cars here. Filipinos. I mean, there's a fair share of cars, but I'll tell you this: less than 50% of the people in my neighborhood have cars. Less than 50% of us have cars. We would like to have one in our family. Is the 220. Sweet Perry says many appliances now work with both. Yeah, that's the difference between electronic devices and electronics. Like your sorry, not a GoPro, like your iPhone. This is an iPhone from the US, iPhone 10, but it has the range 110 to 220. The difference between electronic devices and electronics. Sorry, you guys. Let me catch back up again. Jose Pins fan, hello. How are you, sir? Thanks for coming in. Is it why power is expensive? Maurice. Don't know. Good question. Don't know how to answer that. When I look at our electricity bill, it's probably I'd say it was more expensive than the US. Not by much, though, but it is more expensive than the US. That's why I hide in the hotels on weekends. Funny, they will call you from your door to ask why you are not home. I can't grasp that. Funny, they will call you from your door. Why aren't you home? Sale. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Brian's cursed red Kia. Brian's car from Philly to Philippines is cursed. You guys all know that. Is he selling that thing now? I don't watch all of Brian's videos. I got to get in there. Clyde says there is a bridge between Samar and Leyte. Yeah. I've seen pictures of that one. Why aren't you home, Merc3? What are you doing in the hotel? We've come to eat all your food. Right? Isn't that what they... Well, if you're not home, I can't eat all your food. No, like I said, you guys, I'm lucky. Now, Melanie does have Melanie does have a sizable family. She's got three sisters and a brother that live just a ride away. 3 sisters, 1 brother. And, with that comes a ton of nephews and nieces. Oh, I thought Louisa was driving already. I thought she was learned how to drive in the U.S. The age gap between Melanie and me is 18 years. It's not enough age gap. Choke long. Brian is keeping the Kia now so Louisa can learn to drive. Wow. Melanie and I met through mutual friends on Facebook. I had friended one of Melanie's cousins, and that's how we met. To be fair, not all have a done. Most of the elderly respect is important. Yeah. Not all have done it. Yeah. That's right, Mark 3. Yeah, Melanie and I chatted for off and on for a couple of years through Facebook. And then I just, I was actually going to retire to Thailand, not the Philippines. And then I decided I wanted to go back and visit the old Subic Naval Station, and I started doing research on the Philippines. And then after that first trip was when I friended somebody that I had met on that trip, and then Melanie, it was the cousin of that person. So Tim Sheets, 37 nieces and nephews. Good Lord. And you live in the USA, Midwest. Thanks, Dennis, for coming by, buddy. You always have a lot of good stuff to say. Thanks, Dennis. See you next time. Do I ever miss? Wait. Sorry, let me catch up here. Why does it look? Brian Hatcher, we're ever in Cobra Gold in Thailand. We're ever in Cobra Gold. Is that a beer? Cobra Gold. Brian is keeping the car because Lon is going to learn how to drive, and he does not want a new car. Ah. Yeah. We're thinking about buying a car, but I don't know. It's something I'm kind of on the fence about. We don't really need a car. The kids now are in a... I think Cobra is a energy drink or something, right? There's a beer, too, that's... Ah, big Marine Corps operation in Thailand. Cobra Gold. Okay. I never got a chance to return Filipino 2 rides away. Yeah. That's how everything's measured here, Clyde. 2 rides, baby. The mall is 2 rides away. 1 trike, 1 Jeep, baby. You'll see that on the next video. You've seen that before, but we did a family fun day yesterday for Sunday, so we vlogged it, and I'm going to put it up. That'll be my next video. Sorry, you guys. I've been under the weather, and I just haven't been making a lot of videos. I need to, I need to get my shit together. You need a car for road trips. Not so much here. You don't. But yeah, if you like to drive, then you do need a car for road trips. You do not need a car in the Philippines for anything. Transportation here is really, really good. It's the one thing they do well here. There's transportation and plenty of it. Melanie's on the bus now going to Shaw Avenue. Oh boy. She'll be lucky if she's home by 6 p.m. tonight. Yeah, Mike, I don't know. In the U.S., you have to have a car. Here, not so much. You don't really need a car here. I can get to Angeles City in 2 hours flat from my house. And that's, this will make Clyde laugh. That's 1, 2, 3. Angeles City is 4 rides away. 1 trike. 1 jeepney. 1 UV Express, and then 1 bus. 4 rides to Angeles City. It's 2 hours. And that's, or I can ride there, and it takes me about 3.5. Believe it or not. And it's because I can't take my motorcycle on the NLEX. I've got to take MacArthur Highway all the way into Angeles City, and there's tons of traffic, man. Kills you. Bikes are better than a car. Yeah. True, Sweet Perry. You may not have a ton of subscribers right now, but we are loyal to your channel, no doubt. Thanks, Brian. I'm okay. I've got 1,300 something subs. I think it's pretty good. I don't know. I'd love to have more. I'd love to have 10,000. That'd be cool. I can't ride a jeepney. I'm a disabled vet. They don't move for me or look up from their phone to let me get in. I step on a lot of flip-flops. Oh. Yeah, the Jeep. I'll tell you what. We were so tired last night coming home from the mall. And Um, there was a little bit of traffic, on Zabarte Road coming north towards Almar, where we catch the trike to come into the house. And man, we're just sitting there, and the jeepney fumes, the diesel fumes, are just overwhelming all of us. And I thought I was going to throw up. And I'm just thinking to myself, what the hell are we doing? And then that's when you got to get that attitude of gratitude. You got to go out, 9 peso ride. Be happy. Be happy with what you have. It might not be the greatest circumstance, but it's cheap and it's effective. Sweet Perry, we take Grab quite often. Yes, sir. I've taken Grab quite often. But if you can find a metered taxi, that's the cheaper alternative. Metered taxis are always cheaper than Grab. Yeah, Mike. We don't let a car stop us from doing anything, the lack of a car. Maybe you would get out more. If you lived where I do, a car is just frustrating because of the traffic. You have to be in the right place to have a car and be effective with it. Most of the time, if you're driving around in the Philippines, you're stuck in some kind of traffic, and it just pisses you off. So many people carry a mask. Yes. I sometimes wear one myself. Yeah, you need a lot of patience, and you got to have that attitude of gratitude, baby. Be thankful for what you got. Yes, Jose Penn's fan. I do feel safe riding in a jeepney. I've never felt unsafe. Really, I've never had an unsafe experience anywhere. That's from Metro Manila, riding the Jeep in Metro Manila, all the way to riding jeepneys in Angeles City. From Angeles City to Manila costs $75 in a private rented car. Not bad at all. Yeah, that's pretty cheap. And you're right about on the money, because a guy that I know just spent 4,000 pesos, which is outrageous for a private car when you can ride the bus for 160. But foreigners or Westerners don't care about money. Craig Edwards, UV Express is typically like a Toyota Hiace van service that runs from mall to mall. We have UV Express service here in the Philippines that runs from mall to mall. The transportation services or bus terminals a lot of times are built right next to the malls. So to connect you from one mall to the next, you'll take what's called a UV Express. It's like a Toyota van that has 10 seats and it's air conditioned. And you pay about 35 to 40 pesos for your ride. Okay, so it's better than a jeepney, and a lot of times these UVs will service areas that the jeepney won't. Okay, so that's a UV Express. They're always white in color, and it could be a Toyota van, a Volkswagen van, Nissan van of some sort. Sometimes you get into one that's really nice, might even have a TV in it, and it's a more comfortable way. Not always comfortable because they do overload them. Okay, if you're at a loading spot for a UV, they're going to overload that UV. In other words, they put 4 people where only 3 people should be sitting, and it pisses you off. But that's what makes it more fun here. And you have a driver that's used to the roads, correct. No jeepney in Thailand. They have nice small trucks. Yeah, they have something similar to a Jeep there. Clyde C said, you keep saying not many cars there. Drive from one end of Manila. Yeah, there's plenty of cars, but maybe I'm not expressing myself correctly there. There's plenty of cars here for sure. I think I was referring more to the amount that a lot of people don't have cars here. This is a very overpopulated place, though, so obviously there's going to be a lot of cars. Family and friends own them. We use it 2 to 3 times a year only, yeah. Makoya and Goy. Hello, sir. How are you? Thanks for joining the live chat. You guys, Makoya and Goy. It's going great, buddy. How are you? Brian Hatcher, there are no metered taxis in Subic. That is correct. No metered taxis. You are, I don't know what's going on there. They've got some kind of scam going on. My guess is, I was talking about this, I think, on the last chat that I did. There's got to be some type of a scam going on there. All you can do is hire a private car in the Subic area, and they overcharge you. They charge you 300 pesos for a 130 peso ride. So, but you've got no choice. There's no metered taxi. Very strange to me. This is a Longopo city as well, and there's no Grab. Grab has not been allowed in there. So you tell me what's going on. There's got to be some type of a scam. Kevin Wallace says he still has a head scar from a jeepney. Okay, well, I wouldn't doubt that. You got to be very careful. McCoy Ungoy, 4:48 a.m. Just clicked on and seen you were live. You're braver than me. Haha. Ah. Don't tell me, Mark, that you're camera shy. I haven't done a lot of live chats, but when sometimes I get bored and just come on and see if there's anybody on. Let's chat. It's kind of fun, really, once you get into it, once you start doing it. Barangay 167. Hey, you're within walking distance. I lived in your place near at Union Village. I know it very well. Somewhere between 209 and Transform now here, North Caloocan. Welcome, Thelma. Yeah, we walk over to Union Village all the time. One of my favorite areas is Union Village. Very quiet there. The cattle like to hang out there and graze, too. It's so cool to watch them. Am I doing the live show same time every week? I'm actually not. Sorry. I'm all over the place. I do it about the same time. I always try and start about 9 o'clock, but I never know what day I'm going to do it. It depends on if the kids are here or not. I've got bandwidth. I think you have made a video about Union Village. I have quite a few videos about Union Village. Union Village is where the two houses that I showed that are so impressive. There's a yellow home in there that's just beautiful. It's just a massive, massive house. And then there's a new one being built right now. And I just did those videos, 2 or 3 ago. Thelma says her fiance is coming in from North Carolina. Wow. All right. On January. Okay. Very cool. Thelma has a fiance from North Carolina. All right, that's cool. He was the one who told me about your vlogs. Oh, really? So I know when you watch my videos, you see where you used to live. That's funny. I think you left me a message before about that, didn't you? Was that you, Thelma, that did that? I think you left a message on one of my videos, one of my walkarounds. You were like, oh, I used to live, or I think I walked right past your house or something. Isn't that funny? Is your husband one of my subscribers, Thelma? Is that what you're saying? That's funny. Yeah, you're right, Sweet Berry. It makes my wife again. It makes the internet. Yeah, Zamartin Mall and Pure Gold. Yeah, that's a ride away. Just a trike away from my house. All right, I got a selfie from the wife. Filipinos love selfies, don't they? Maganda. Word is getting round. Yeah, not quite fast enough, Sweet Perry. I need a plug from a big vlogger. Maybe get me going a little bit more, to motivate me. I get lazy sometimes. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys, don't get sick here. My God, the flu is just ridiculous. Is Carolina Southern Comfort type of territory? That was hell of a film. Yes, McCoy, South Carolina. Oh, interesting, Thelma. What age are you guys? What age are you, Thelma? Yeah, we're doing a few vlogs here and there, Craig Edwards, I'm pretty much the only foreigner. That's a whole nother story, buddy. Craig Edwards, just to reiterate, I moved here the 7th of January. We're now in September. What, 9 months later? I've seen 2 other foreigners. One I've seen a couple of times. Won't even give me the time of day. I don't know I don't know what his problem is. I've tried to, kind of give him the nod and say, hey, there's not many of us around. It'd be nice to hook up with another foreigner. If nothing else, be able to go hang out at their place or them come to mine and we just talk so we can speak English, The other foreigner that I met was really friendly, and I regret not getting his information now because I haven't seen him. Yeah, Clyde, there's also another one. Clyde, there's another one too that's going to start up. They just got the okay. It's can't remember the name of it. Hype doesn't sound familiar to me though. I saw it in the news. Can't remember the name of it. Oh, I was talking to you guys about that movie. There's a movie on Netflix called Birdshot. Were you guys in the room when I was talking about that? Some of you? It's kind of interesting. Not as good as Amo, though. The show AMO, Amo, on Netflix. It's pretty good. I wish I could remember the name of the... They're also trying to... Clyde, you know what they're trying to do here? They're trying to get motorcycle taxis approved. Not quite sure how that's what's going to happen there. They're trying to get motorcycle taxis approved the way they are in Thailand. In Thailand, you can just grab a motorcycle as a taxi. Kevin Wallace says, where I go, there is not any. Okay. And Kevin, do you want to... I'm sorry if I missed it in the chat. I may have missed it in the chat. I don't know what part of the Philippines you go to. I'm only in Mercury 3, there's a thing in the foreigner community here where a lot of times they just foreigners don't want to be involved with one another. They think the foreigners are more problems than the Filipinos. And they, in some cases they might be right. There is kind of a thing with foreigners here. Now, if you're living in Angeles City, that's going to be a little bit different because there's so many. There's such a large concentration of foreigners there. There in the Subic, Alangapu area, it's not so rare to see a foreigner like it is where I'm at. I mean, where I'm at, it's, the one guy that I've seen that won't talk to me, I see him right here at the Changet. So he lives somewhere in here he lives. But he's super unfriendly, I just don't, they seem intent on chasing girls or drunk. Well, good luck with chasing girls here. Angeles City might be pretty easy, but you're not going to chase any girls here. They don't want anything to do with you here. Find a Filipino that'll even talk to you here in North Caloocan, you'd be very lucky. I don't know what, a single guy would do. I guess you would have to rely on maybe the internet dating or something like that to meet girls. Because just going out in public gets you nothing here, Most girls will not even give you the time of day. SBMA owns the taxis in Subic. Yeah. We were talking about that earlier, Clyde. There's no actual metered taxi anywhere there. And they just quote you some outrageous price, Okay, Craig Edwards, there are two different Caloocan cities. I'm in Caloocan North. The other Caloocan City is in Metro Manila. I'm in Caloocan City North. If you look on Google Maps, you'll see there's a big difference between the two. Yeah, Brian, I would think that if you were, a single foreigner living like, here where I do, you would have to resort to some type of online thing to meet girls because meeting girls in public is nearly impossible. And you wouldn't think that, really, but it's nearly impossible to meet girls here in public. They're super, super shy. Yeah. Yeah, I've had, girls that I've just said hello to or over here at the Class A Mall at Almar, if I was in there shopping, and they cover their face and just turn beet red, and then they just turn around and they're scared to death of you. Have you been to Bohol? No taxis there. If you want to get anywhere that's more than a few minutes away, then it's private car only, and you pay through the nose. Wow. Bohol, really? No, Mark, I don't know about that. Haven't been down there. Why do you think that's the case? Because only a foreigner could. Are there that many foreigners there? I mean, why would that be the case? Why would the local Filipino population not have a metered taxi option? Does that seem weird to anybody, or do all the Filipinos just take the Jeep? It seems odd that would be the case when there's. I mean, I understand it in Subic. Tons of foreigners there. When I'm at Fairview, SM Fairview, Marilao, or SM North, I say hi to other foreigners like myself, even though I'm a reserved guy. Ah. Yeah, you see a foreigner occasionally at SM Fairview. I was just there yesterday. Not very often, though. SM North, you see a lot. That's where immigration is. There's almost always foreigners in there. Kevin Wallace, I go to my fiance's work, and there are many girls looking for foreigners. Yeah. Yeah, I know they're out there. there's just something about, approaching a girl here and trying to talk to her. It just doesn't seem to, and I'm a very social person. It doesn't seem to work out very good for you. I'll tell you that. Most girls that I've tried to talk to just shy away from me. They get this, just start giggling and almost run away. It's really odd, to be honest with you. Well, yeah, of course they're lovely girls. The amount of beautiful women here is insane. That's why most foreigners are here. Mark says, I'm not sure, but when my cousin came to stay with me, when I lived in Leyte, she had an accident with some fire coral. I remember that, when we were diving and we had to get her to the hospital. Yeah, I remember that, Mark. You vlogged a little bit about that. Thelma, we want to connect with you on Facebook to let you know one day we'll be meeting with my fiance. Okay. You can contact me here, Thelma. Just leave a message on one of my vids or something. Mark. "24 people. My goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 8 show up under participants. That's kind of weird. I wonder why that is. What did Filipinas do before phones? Probably internet cafe, Clyde. Internet cafe, maybe. Gossip. What's it called? Chismis? Merc? Chismis or something? What is it called? The rest are enjoying the show. Mike Foodie. They wrote letters, yeah. You know what? It's funny, you guys. When I was in the military, spelled chismis, yeah. Chismis gossip. T-S, yeah. It's spelled funny. Yeah, you say it funny too, really. A lot of the words here are. They wrote letters. I was going to say, when I was in the military, I was in Subic when I was 19 years old, I think. My Filipina girlfriend was, God, she was ancient. I think she was 30 years old, which is an old girl in the Philippines. Even for that time. But she wrote me letters for 2-3 years after the time I was in Subic. Every couple of months, I'd get a letter from her. It was the funniest thing. So we stayed in touch. It was kind of cool. Anyway, that was, that was 1985. My military days in Subic. Oh, my. The old gossip. And even with the phones, they're still gossiping. They just gossip a lot faster with more people and a larger audience. Was I living on a U.S. base? No, Maurice, I was not. Well, I was stationed in Subic back in 85 for a short period of time. That was my introduction to the Philippines, okay? 19 years old and 32 days on ship. And then we hit hit the port of Subic. We were here for about 90 days. It was split 45 and 45. So we were here for a long time, and it was a Liberty. Subic was a Liberty port for us when I was here. So we did very little. If we worked at all, we would go for a run in the morning on top of the ship, and then they let us go. And we'd be free to go for sometimes a couple of days before we'd have to be back to the ship again. So you know what that meant for a young Marine with a couple of $100 in his pocket. I'm 53, Mark. 53. Oh, 5 years. Okay. No wonder you went back. No wonder you went back to the UK. You still got some good working years left in you. I do too, but I was kind of forced out. I didn't really have a choice. Be held to pay then. I'm sorry. Kevin Wallace. So I think you must be about 4 years older than me, yes. Oh, be held to pay then. Mike Foodie, do you use a Philippine bank? I do. I'm with BDO. I hear the fees are high for foreigners. No. There's no foreigner rate for fees with the bank that I'm aware of. I'm not paying any fees. I'll tell you what's weird about the banks, though. Now, this is where the Philippines is 30 years behind the West. I opened my account in Novaliches. Sorry, is it Novaliches? Yeah, BDO Novaliches. I have to do all my business there. Oddly enough, as far as walking business goes, I can't go to a BDO. Say I'm in Angeles City and I'm at the SM. I cannot walk into that BDO and do business because that's not my branch. Isn't that weird? Do you guys find that weird? I can't walk into any other bank. I have to go only do walk-in business in my bank that I opened the account at. So that's, I can use other ATMs. That's okay. But as far as doing bank business, I can only go into my branch. That's it. The oddest thing. But, Clyde says that motorcycle taxis are there with Grab. Yeah, Grab. Yeah, I noticed that Grab has a motorcycle, but I think they're trying to do something here in Manila that's different than just Grab. I don't know if we have Grab bike here. I know we have Grab car. Do you visit some other place than Subic when you were there? On my military time? Or Mark says BDO. Yeah, BDO is good. How does your U.S. funds get to your BDO bank? Okay, I'm transferring money through Western Union. And I don't even transfer to my account. I transfer to my wife's. When we need funds, I transfer that way. There's various ways to transfer your money. A lot of people, if you do a bank-to-bank transfer, I've done so much business through Western Union that I get that for free. Now, I take a hit on the exchange rate, of course. You're going to. I've heard that there's that TransferWise apparently is a cheaper way to transfer your money. One way or another, you're going to have to pay something as a foreigner. You're not going to get a free transfer. Now, I met a guy in Angeles City when I was there a month or so ago, or a few weeks ago, that said he's with BDO, and they're still allowing him to write a personal check from his Bank of America account in the U.S. to his BDO account. And it takes about 3 weeks for that money to transfer. So Some of the banks now are charging for a U.S. check. Some are not. BDO apparently is not. I have not tried that option yet, so I need to do that. Do I remember cherry blossoms? Cherry blossoms. There's something about that. Yeah. Brian, there's something about cherry blossoms. I don't know. How does your funds? I was in Mount Libation in 91 when it blew up. Pinatubo, yeah. Bank set up as a challenge of patience. Fall in line. Yeah. That, and you have to find a bank that will take you with your ACR card that says tourist on it. On one hand, they make a law that says the only way a foreigner can have a bank account is if you have an ACR card. Then you get your ACR card, you go to the bank, they say, oh no, you can't have a bank account because your ACR card says tourist on it. So that's another thing that makes it more fun living here. I went to 3 banks before one finally opened an account for me. So there you go. Do I remember the big statue at the end of the street in Longapo back in the early 90s? That is Friendship Rotunda, I think, Brian, you're talking about? Or Unity Roundabout? Is it Unity Roundabout or Friendship Rotunda? One of the two? Yeah, I remember it. I was there in 85, so. There's no taxis in Tagaytay. True, no taxis in Tagaytay as well. Probably because of the large influx of tourists, right, Clyde? They can get the money, so. Mercury 3 says that my bank here in the U.S. is set automatically to joint Philippines for USD in 3 hours. Oh, you must be with what is it, Wells Fargo? I think Wells Fargo is affiliated with BPI. Is that right? There's one U.S. bank that's affiliated with one of the Philippine banks. And I believe it's Wells Fargo with BPI. Yeah. BPI would not open an account for me. That was our first route. And they said no, because my ACR card said tourist on it. So BDO is also affiliated with Wells Fargo. Didn't know that. I'm with Bank of America and have been my whole life. So I was actually surprised there wasn't a Bank of America in Manila, Metro Manila, when there's several in downtown Bangkok. Okay, both BPI and BDO. That's good to know. Pay attention, guys. If you're in the U.S. now, it may behoove you to open an account with Wells Fargo. Then you've got an affiliate bank with a bank in the Philippines. And you're going to get cheap transfers. Look at that. What is that, $4? Yeah, so I'm taking a hit now on the BPI. Mark says that BPI is very strict and they need too many bank statements from England. Well, I don't know. They turned me away because my ACR card said tourist on it. So, whatever. BDO took me, so I didn't care either way. I just wanted to get a bank account going here because I knew it was going to be important for, my future. There's a few things you got to get done when you come here and you move. You got to get your ACR card. You start that at day 59 when you come here. 2, you got to get a driver's license, Philippine driver's license, which now is very hard to do because you have to prove that you're going to be in the country for 1 year. You got to have a 1-year visa, guys, just so you know, to get a Filipino driver's license, which means if you're not married to a Filipina, you're going to have a hard time doing that. Where does my wife work? Maurice, my wife is currently not working. She was doing real estate type paperwork. She's not working right now. I've had my account maybe 4 years now and never had a problem with them. Yeah. Mark, I've heard that, BDO is a good expat banking system. So at the time, you know how hard it is to get anything done here. My God. It's like pulling teeth to get the smallest things done here. So you'll go with almost any bank, you know what I mean, just to get the damn thing done, just to get the account open. You're like, my God. Mercury 3, you need a routing number from the Philippines bank before you can transfer funds from the U.S. You will need your Philippines bank info first. Ah, Brian Hatcher, yeah. You're right. I do remember that now. Totally remember that. Cherry blossoms. Totally. You've sparked that memory. Although, you know, when you're a young military guy in Subic, meeting a girl wasn't too hard back then. I think you mean a SWIFT number for the bank. SWIFT number. Yeah. Probably something that I'm guilty of, you guys, is not calling my bank and seeing if there's a better option, especially considering the amount of money that I have in the bank in the U.S. There might be an even better option for me for transferring money to the Philippines. So maybe something I'm guilty of not looking more into, you know. The problem is it's so damn easy with Western Union. And Melanie has the money in a couple of hours in her account. So, you know, guilty as charged. I'm probably giving up. I don't know. I always transfer 1,000 USD at a time. So it would probably be better for me just to transfer the cash and receive the money in USD. It would probably cost me less money. I have a PayPal account too. I have money in PayPal because it's commonly used here for different things. So I do have an account with PayPal as well. £25. No, that's about 20 USD probably. Mark? I'm not quite giving up that much on my Western Union transfer. Typically, if the, oh yeah, $20. I always transfer $1,000 at a time. Oh, it's about 35 USD, so that's expensive. Shit. Yeah, I'm not giving up that much. I'm giving up probably about, let's see. Melanie gets, the deposit is about 53,000 pesos. And I think I'm losing 800 pesos on the transfer. So she would have 53.8 if it was just a clear transfer bank to bank. No, it's not quite that much, actually. If the rate's 53.3 on the street, Western Union's giving me 52.5 or something. So, yeah, it's okay if you're sending. And that could be it. Maybe the better idea is to send 2,000 USD at a time, especially if it's the same amount of money. $1.50 to the pound. Okay. Oh yeah, so it's 35. That would be about 35 USD. That's expensive. Shit, that's 1,500 pesos. 1,750 pesos. That's 1,750 pesos. That feeds my family for 3 or 4 days. More than that. More than that if we're shopping at Palenque. Yeah. 129 to the pound. Okay. Okay, so that's less. But still. Yeah. I've always heard that TransferWise is one of the most inexpensive money transfer avenues. That's like a Western Union. Now I haven't tried them because it's hard to change. When you've got something that's just 2 clicks away, I go into Western Union, boom, 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 it's all set up. They have Melanie's bank information, they have everything. I just push like 3 buttons and boom, it's done. In 2 hours, it's in her bank. So it's hard to start all over with a new company just to save me $5 maybe. I don't know. Do you have to pay money for private school? Yes, of course. It's cheap though. Brian Page says it costs Brian Page, it costs me to transfer $450, $299 from the UK to Philippines. Okay. Private school here is cheap, very cheap compared to the West. What, about $100 a month for 2 kids? Would be about $1,000 a month in the US for the same school. So yeah, it's cheap. Maurice, public school here is super, super overcrowded. Super overcrowded. And the kids only go for like 2 or 3 hours and they have shifts. A lot of the public schools here the kids only get 3 hours of school. It's because they're overcrowded. So I'm going to give you an example, okay? The first shift of school might be 5 a.m. to 8. The second shift, 8 to 12. Third shift, 12 to 3. Fourth shift, 3 to 5. 3 to 6. Because there's so many children, and there might be 100 children in a classroom, where in the private school, we've got only about 25 to 30 kids in the classroom, okay? So that's the difference. Yeah, public school is almost a joke. The teachers are seriously, seriously overworked, and the classes are seriously overcrowded. It's really, really bad, okay? And, if your kid is in that 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. shift, my God, you know how hard that must be for some of them? But that's the way it works, a lot of the public schools. Now, that's an extreme, but a lot of the public schools, now that's here in Manila where it's super crowded, okay? It might not be that way in the province. It's probably a little bit better. Yeah, Mark says, there you go. My kids also, Scott V, hello. Thank you so much. Hello, Scott V. Hello, and thank you so much for joining the chat. From Texas. All right, baby. Home of the greatest steak in the world. Texas, yeehaw. Yeah, Mark, my kids go to school when they go to school. It's all day as well. They leave here at 6:30 and they're not home till 5 p.m. Yeah, 6:30 in the morning till 5 p.m. They get home about 5:15, 5:20, something like that. They're in school all day. When they go. today, for some reason, school was canceled. I guess they thought it was going to rain or something. Who knows? It's always something. Merc 3, thanks for coming in, buddy. Great talking to you, too. Don't be sleeping, Merc 3, when I knock at your gate. You better be awake, buddy, and you better be home. Not hiding out in some damn hotel. Oh, very nice. Caloocan City. Very nice, Scott. Tarlac, Brian Page. Oh, really? Okay. No, Scott, I have not. Brian Page lives in Tarlac. Wow. Never been to Tarlac City. As close as that is to Angeles. Missed a call from the door. Okay. See how you are, Merc 3? See how you treat me? You're supposed to invite me into your home and let me stay for 2 or 3 days. Yeah, Scott, retired military, you'll be fine. Especially once your Social Security kicks in, you'll be a rich man over here. No problem. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to. I'm at 3 hours and 18 minutes on this thing. So thanks to everybody that came in. I'm going to have to shut down now and go take care of the kids. Thanks, Mark, for coming in. Always great to see you, mate. See you, Mark. Have a good one. Thanks, Scott V, Bobby C, Clyde C. Side. BDO is supposedly the biggest bank in the Philippines. Yeah, you said that before, Clyde. Thanks for that great fact. Acme Savings. And of course, they're huge because they're attached to all the SM malls. BDO is owned by the same owner for SM. Thanks, Maurice. Robert Madden, I'm going to be purchasing PhilHealth for myself and the kids. It's the only thing, it's really your only option here in the Philippines. So that's what I'll be doing. Take care, Mark. Thanks a lot, buddy. Thanks, Mike Foodie. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the chat. And to all of my friends and subscribers, thanks again for joining us here. That was fun. And we'll do it again. Bye now.